Hey Capricorn, welcome back. Here we are in December, last month of the year. I cannot believe that we're heading into 2022. What the heck? I keep saying 2020 in the readings like that's what we're walking into, but we don't need to repeat that, right? No, we don't. Let's not go back there. But some of that energy is going to be knocking around with you this month because some things are going to come up that are going to remind you, I think, of what we were going through when the eclipses were in, or the nodes were in you in Cancer's sign, and we had eclipses in our sign for quite a while. We already have some cards out, I just want to say, because I started the reading and then I got a call and my phone was on full volume, and we don't need that in this channel. I just started it, so we already have some cards out here, so let's just get right into your reading. Let's talk about the astrology as well, because there's a lot going on, and it's a very deep month for you because we have so much going on in your 12th house, and that's bringing up a lot of these hidden, darker things that have been sitting in the back of your mind from maybe the past year, especially, that you're going to be releasing. So you're going to be in this it's really interesting because you're kind of like you're presenting yourself in one way to other people, and it looks like, oh my gosh, like, look at me, I've come this far, I'm doing so good, oh my God, like, look at me, I have all this money, look at me on the top of the mountain. Look at what I've accomplished this past year. Look at how much money I have. Look at the big moves I've made. Look at where I'm at. Like, you're trying to project all this stability and all this security and all this, like, I've made it to this really amazing place here. And yet you're also kind of like, what now? What now? And it's more than that. We'll get back to that feeling. It's more than that because we feel very of two minds about something. Sorry, I'm going to just move this so that it doesn't go off again like that. And why I say that is because we have this going on here. And that's also why I brought up the nodes in Cancer and Capricorn, and how that 2020 energy and that intense feeling is kind of all about this month. I don't know. I did Cancer's reading yesterday and I was going to do yours right after, but it was honestly so emotional and so exhausting and so intense. I was like, let's just give this one a day, go back to Capricorn tomorrow. Because both of you are in this, like, the way the astrology is hitting you right now is really forcing you to face some things that are very uncomfortable and that don't make you feel good. And no matter how hard we want to be projecting all of this wealth, all of this glory, all of this incredible energy. Oh my God, look at me with all my accomplishments, especially in terms of career, especially in terms of, whatever it is. It could be even like you've just made some really big moves in terms of stability, security, building a new path forward, a new opportunity, a new life, really, like that is stable, solid, something very real. So I feel like some of you have like entered new homes this year. Maybe you bought a house, maybe you moved to a new place, maybe you took a really big leap of faith and it paid off. Maybe, again, new career stuff just feels like you've built up all this security. You're like, wow, look at me. I've got all the way up here. Like, everybody like, whoa, look at me. I'm Capricorn. I'm successful. I've done all this. These are all my accomplishments. I've done this year. I've had this happen. I've had this happen. And it's like, yeah, it's great. That's really great and wonderful. So why are we of such two minds here? And why do we feel like this? Because Eight of Cups was your first card out. And Eight of Cups is a very difficult card to get. I mean, I think a lot of people fear the Ten of Swords. They fear death a lot, the death card, which is like silly because I don't see it as a very threatening thing. But Three of Swords, that is something to be worried about. There's definitely cards that are concerning. And a lot of people forget that the Eight of Cups is just as difficult and just as hard. It's a moment where you have to emotionally leave some things behind. And with everything going on in your 12th house, and especially we had that solar eclipse starting off the month in your 12th house, and it wrapped up all the eclipses from the past. I think it was since like April, May 2020 when the nodes moved into Sag and Gemini, and we've had the Sagittarius. I can't speak. We have had Sagittarius in the South Node, which is your 12th house, and it's been so intense for you. A lot of these really big fears, these old beliefs, these always of being, these hidden aspects of yourself that even like in terms of like mental health crises, you might even have found that like in the past year or so, like year and a half, that you've been through a lot with your mental health and emotional health. And maybe it's been triggered in some really bad ways because we've had things that have been purging out. And I will say earth signs, speaking as an earth sign myself and as a Taurus sun, you know, we don't like to process this stuff. Like, we don't. So we'll push it down and we'll be like, okay, I think I processed it. And it's like, then it comes up like years later in like a very chaotic, very difficult, very intense way. And sometimes you don't even know that the feelings and what we were going through now have so much to do with us not dealing with that when it happened, and not dealing with that in the proper sense and in the proper way. And all this stuff from the back of your head has been coming up, and I think that this was kind of like a last purge, and that's really colored your energy, because I'm doing like for a while, and I think it will color your energy a lot this month, because again, we have so much 12th house stuff. We have Mercury as well in Sagittarius. We're gonna have Mars going into Sagittarius. That's so much 12th house energy for you guys, and it's going to be like a lot of these like really intense, like conflicting energies and really difficult like things of, you know, what am I doing? Like, why don't I feel right? What did I thought I got all the way up here, and yet it feels like I'm not there. Why does it feel not the way I wanted it to? And let's talk about these other cards out too, because has a lot to do with this too. So it feels like, you know, let me just pull one more. Our relationships with others are going to be tested as well this time. We're going to be tested in general. I think everybody in December, I think I'm just going to start bringing this up in all the readings, it's going to really test you, because it's going to force you to, Sagittarius season and into Capricorn season is going to force us to be responsible, to be disciplined with everything, no matter how we feel. We cannot react in the same ways we used to. Instead, we have to find a way to calm down, sit where we are, and deal with our own stuff, and put up the right boundaries with other people that want to throw other stuff at you this month, or that you're having difficulties with. Because you're going to have some difficulties this month, but it's interesting because I also feel like you're feeling really alone in terms of the people around you, or you're needing more alone time. I just feel like there's this real sense of, this is a really interesting aspect of feeling very about a lot. I mean, like, this is going to be a month. Let's just talk about this. Okay, let's just get right into it here. When we have on the 12th, 13th, I'm looking at the astrology over here. I have some notes for you guys. On the 12th, 13th of December, we have Mars going into Capricorn. We also, and that's going to be, again, that's going to be, sorry, Mercury's going into Capricorn. What am I saying? Mercury's going into Capricorn. Mars is going into Sagittarius. So Mercury and Capricorn, that's good for you. Like, you get that. That's your energy. You're going to get shit done. Things are going to get done. Things are going to happen. But when we got Mars, this fighting, warring, intense energy, which typically, again, rules our 11th house, and we have, you know, this 12th house planet in it. It's of hidden enemies, of all these hidden aspects, and, you know, these secrets and weird things coming up from like the depths of you and depths of other people. It might be time to take stock of who you have around you, friendships, people around you, because I feel like with this, I immediately felt we're having conflicts. And I feel like this really reflects the astrology. I'm like, I don't know if I should keep talking about it or if I should just let the cards say it. But because the astrology is so poignant in your cards this month, I can see it everywhere, all over the place. But we have, you know, 5 of Swords and 6 of Pentacles reversed. Feeling like, oh my God, like these people took from me. So let's look at that a little deeper, because we do have some cards about that too. And feeling very wronged. I feel like, it's really weird. It's like you feel very wrong. You also like don't feel like you have the energy to go out and have fun either, but you're like, God, I'm watching everybody else go out and enjoy themselves, and why can't I be a part of that energy? Because you've put yourself in this position where you need to keep proving yourself in some aspect to everybody, that you've lost everybody in the process. I don't want to say, like, that sounds harsh, but like, you haven't lost everybody, but there's a good amount of people I feel like that you have kind of let go of. And we might be really thinking about that right here with the Hanged Man, the King of Swords reversed, and the Three of Cups. We've also had Jupiter in Aquarius in your, what is that? It's your second house there. And it will move into Pisces at the end of the month. And it's going to be a lot nicer of a vibe because it's been in, you know, I just lost what I was saying. It's been in Aquarius. I almost said Capricorn, and I was like, it's not Capricorn. It's been in Aquarius this whole time, and that's been a really heavy focus on trying to make things work with work. It's really intense work focus. It's really intense. Let's get this stuff done. Let's do that. Let's do this. We got to get this stuff done. We need to strive for more. We need to create the communities in terms of work. But in your striving for do that, in your strive, in your rush, I can't speak, I'm sorry, Mercury is in Sagittarius. Let me just talk about that for a second, which is in detriment, which is why everyone's like, why does it feel like it's Mercury retrograde right now? Because Mercury is in detriment in Sagittarius, and we have these big concepts that we cannot, you know, filter down into the smaller aspect that Mercury is, the more poignant aspect. So it's really difficult. So just bear with me, guys. I'm trying to English here. But there's this real look at like friendships and relationships this month. And a lot of it, again, like has to do with 11th house stuff and the people around you. And we're going to have issues there, like I said. So let's look at that a little deeper, because I feel like that's a really big issue that you're going to feel very like, I'm seeing like, and it's also, I want to say this, I feel like you've seen this coming. I feel like you had intuition or something, or I don't know, something going on a while ago. And I'm sorry, that's really weird. Oh my gosh. I'm throwing my phone over there, getting weird text to try to convert me to something. Like, no, thank you. But anyways, sorry guys, little sidebar there. That was really weird. I looked at it for a second and it was like the weirdest message I've ever seen. But now I've lost it. We're gonna get to it. Let's pull the cards. We lost it there. Yes, like that's what I was trying to say. You had this intuition, you had this feeling, you had this knowing. And it's really weird because I knew that person was gonna text me earlier today. They were in my mind, and I was like, I really hope I don't hear from this lady who's gonna try and convert me to her religion again. But you know what? There she is. She messaged me. So anyways, listen to your intuition. I think that'll be a lesson for you after this whole year. You're going to be like, wow, I should have seen that months ago. I should have taken note of that behavior and known that that wasn't right for me. Should have listened. But shoulda, coulda, woulda. Don't get stuck on the shoulda, coulda, woulda this month, because you will get stuck on that. Oh my God, you're going to get so stuck on it. Holy crap. Oh my gosh, I wish it could have been like this. I wish it could have been like that. I didn't see that this was going to happen. Okay, let me get all the cards up here, because I'm just like, wow. I have to like flip them the right way for you guys. All right. Wow. I didn't see it coming, and if I had, I would have fought differently. I didn't see it, and there was nothing I could do. And there wasn't, okay? There isn't. You could have listened, you didn't. It's okay. Move on. You've learned the lesson. Stop crying about it. Stop pitying yourself about it. Stop saying, what if, what if, what if? It already happened. It's okay. Let it go. You didn't need them anyways. If that's the way that they were going to treat you, then yeah, your intuition tried to do you a favor, but you might have had to learn the hard way, and that's okay. Somebody here, it's like, there was no decision in this. There's no decision you can make now either. You can only try to heal and move forward. You can only try to listen better next time. Notice the patterns. Notice that maybe that this is a pattern in you. Maybe you take people in that take from you. Why do we do that? Even when we know it's going to happen, when we can feel it in our bones, when we can see it on the horizon, we smell it in the air, and yet we'll ignore it. We got to stop being like that, right? And it's like, it's interesting because it feels so cold. It does feel very cold, and you really didn't expect this. So I do want to say, before that happens, force something. I mean, again, we can't control everything, and that's another thing I want to talk about this month is the energies are dragging us in the way that they are going to. It's better for us to not fight it, to not control it right now, because it's not going to do anything. You taking control, you trying to direct this energy, you trying to do this and that and the other thing is not going to change the situations this month, and it's not going to make it better. Okay, I feel like I should bring this up in every reading because it's come up in every reading at this point, where it's like you can't try to control this energy to make it do exactly what you want it to do. And for you, I don't think you know what you want it to do anyways. I think that you know you feel off and that something is wrong and you don't really know what that is. Okay. Yeah, wow. And it's like, oh my gosh, this is... So yeah, I just wanted to look at this situation a little deeper because it's like, I don't feel like it's a love situation. I want to say that right off the bat. I don't think this is a love relationship situation thing. I think this is a group dynamic, friends, people that you're working with type of situation where it feels very much like you didn't see this coming. You really didn't, because you've been putting in your effort, you've been putting in the energy, you are seeing it like this. And that's why you're like, huh? Like, what? Like, let me turn it the right way. I hate that the camera always slips the wrong way. But, huh? I guess the camera doesn't. That's just silly. I'm just dumb. But you're seeing it like this was so good. Like, I don't understand. I thought we had all this going on. Why are you suddenly deciding that? And what's interesting is not only the King of Swords is reversed, it's like somebody at work turns against you. Somebody you're working with turns against you. A friend turns against you. Something goes wrong. And I will say there's a lot to do with like eighth house stuff and all that kind of crap. So there's a lot of like your connections with other people, your money with other people, what you owe other people, what they owe you. That's all going to come up to be revisited. And some people might feel like you owe them more. And that you've been so focused on your whole path going up. You didn't even thank them. You didn't, do this for them. You didn't do that. And now they're done. Like, it's kind of like somebody kind of pulls the carpet out from under you in some kind of way. And you're like, huh? Like, huh? This is very confusing. Also, I feel like if you have issues at home right now, any issues with family, those are going to be very draining and very difficult. And that's why I think it would be good for you to let people know what you can and can't handle right now. And what is and you should know what is yours to take on and what isn't yours to take on in terms of, conflict with other people. Because other people might try to take their own conflict that's going on in their lives or other people, whatever it might be, to you this month. Maybe for advice, maybe for this, that, the other thing. But it's not going to be good. And it's just like, I don't know, the communications, everything is like very off this month. And it's very prone to miscommunication, fights, not having a lot of clarity, not really knowing, not really seeing anything the way that you should. And it feels, for some of you, I just feel like there's a lot of discontent, displeasure, feeling uncomfortable, not feeling settled. It's like, I can't get my roots in, I can't get comfortable, I can't feel good. And you should, because you have had so much success and you've done some really big things and you should be applauding yourself. And I think in the right sense, you would be normally. But I also think that in a different way, that all of a sudden you realize that maybe it's the fact that you don't have the people around you that you want to have around you, the relationships around you that you want to have around you, the people applauding you, that you don't have those people around really anymore, and it feels really lonely. Sorry, again, I always do this the wrong way. But there you are, and there's your season. Do you want to be miserable your whole season? Because that can happen. You don't want to start it off, especially because then we have, Venus going retrograde in your sign right before your season starts. And then we also have Mercury going retrograde. It'll also be going retrograde in your sign. So, get yourself together before all of that happens and you start questioning a bunch of things about yourself and all these aspects about who you are and how you feel about you and how you project yourself. All this first house stuff gets thrown in your face in a really difficult and uncomfortable way. So it's like, get with this, face the fears, deal with the depths there. Because fears are coming up. And I feel like for some of you, you didn't even know that you had these feelings deep down within you. Or maybe you did at one point, but you pushed it down, you hid that from yourself. There's a lot of things in terms of your emotions that you've been hiding from other people. For some reason, a love that you seem to be hiding, which is really strange. But, and there will be a lot of push to just like, let the cat out of the bag, do this, do that this month. I don't know if it's the right time, because I think that you have so much to work through and so much to do, and there's so much weird energy right now. I'm trying to think of anything else I want to mention with the astrology there. Yeah. It's a lot of how the world sees you that you're focused on. Really, that's all I was trying to say. I guess I spoke everything I need to. It's difficult, because what comes up out of that, if you just stop for a second, you have such nice things coming in. You have such beautiful energy. When you turn it in the right directions. When you decide to face these things that for some reason you've hidden, and it's like, they're not even bad. Whatever these things that you've been hiding from yourself and hiding from other people, they're not bad. They're beautiful. It's good. It's amazing. It's incredible for you to express emotion. Whether it's crying at first and being really emotional and getting it all out, that's fine too, because it still leaves you here. And the sun is shining brightly on everything right now to say, no, we're going to see it. You're going to see it, whether you like it or not. You're going to see these things about yourself, and it's going to be uncomfortable. You're going to see how you take from yourself by not being honest about what it is that makes you happy. Whew, that was a read. But yeah, let it go. Allow things to come in. Love is there. I mean, in time. Again, the divine energy change is here. Your season is coming. Your solar return is coming. Where did I just put the sign? Your solar return is coming. That's another energy. It's like you can feel it coming. You can feel the pressure. You can feel the energy. So why don't you figure out how to be happy before then? And what it is you have to let go of. What it is about yourself that is so attached to ego. Something that you've made up. This need to, if I pursue this, and I ignore these feelings, and I ignore this whole thing within me, this pain and this sadness and also this love. It's like, heal and realize that you have love within your heart that wants to reach out and grow. And when you let that go, of whatever this, it's like this unhealthy standard for yourself that you've put, like, I can't do this until I'm here. I can't be in a relationship, or I can't pursue the love of my life, or I can't get back together with that person. I can't work on this until I have accomplished this, and this, until I have this much money, until I have my own place, until I have this. That's so silly. Like, you're going to realize that that's like, these standards this month they're not going to carry, you can't carry them with you into the new year. You just can't. It's not going to work. You have to let them go if you want this good stuff. You have to let go of the ego attachment to the feeling of needing something, to the feeling of emotion. It's like, you guys don't like it. I mean, I'm going to be honest. Like, Capricorns aren't known to be like the most emotionally extroverted sign. But you have to realize that you got there. But you have to look at now why it doesn't feel the right way. Why it doesn't feel right. What's missing? What do you need to fix within yourself? What is it that needs to come out of this 12th house for you to deal with, for you to be open to all the good things that you want and that are right there for you? It's like, if you would just like open your eyes, like, you have so much beautiful energy here. I haven't even talked about the world. The world has been here the whole time. The world is here. There it is, your new beginning, your solar return, your season. It's coming upon you. You can feel this year closing out. You can feel all of this, again, especially as the nodes change and as we enter your year, it's like such like a big moment for you guys, because things are moving out of the South node is moving out of your 12th house. Like that's kind of that's a really big deal. That's a really big deal. And that's a really big moment of release. It's a really big moment of purging of all these hidden things, especially about yourself, that maybe are really uncomfortable to sit with. And it's like you've refocused and ignored all that for so long. It's time to take a step back, stop involving yourself in so much that distracts you from dealing with these things. Look at this. And know that it's all good. It's going to be great. Like, you have beautiful things coming in. There's some good energy that wants to come in. There's such a renewed energy of love that's like, when you look at this, or when you you looked at it before and it was one thing, and it's like, when you really take off the glasses, when you really decide to view this thing, it actually has legs and it can run and it can build it all. It can do it all. It's the whole package. Whatever this is that's inside you that you have been pushing down to the point of hurting yourself and hurting your relationships, and to the point of maybe even almost losing this situation, losing this thing. Again, it could be a relationship, I don't know. But whatever answers that you're seeking, whatever joy, happiness, love that you're seeking, it's there. You just have to look at how you got here and what you sacrificed in order to get here, and maybe that's why. The rules of relationships are changing as well. And I think, especially in terms of friendships, it's going to be very poignant to you. So, it's a month of difficult work. I will say every reading I've done for everybody it's been a difficult one. And I think that I know that January's going to be worse. So just get ready for that. It's time to do the work, because January is going to hit, and it's going to hit like a truck. And it's not going to be fun, I think. I don't think anyone's going to enjoy it very much this year. I think it's going to be really difficult. But if we get some work done now, we can kind of get into our season, get into a good flow, and be ready for all this really good stuff to come in. Okay? All right. I love you guys so much. If you want to book a private reading, all that info is below. You can email me. Do make sure to subscribe, guys, if you haven't. Follow me over on Deku Tarot on Instagram for weekly reads and other little things that I do over there, as well as specials, etc. So, thank you guys so much. Capricorns, happy birthday. I love you guys. You have nice things coming in. You just have to really reconcile and deal with why you feel the way that you do right now. You got to go into the 12th house and really look at how you put that aside, working through all that aside to try to strive your way to the top and get to this amazing place where, again, I feel like you feel amazing in terms of work, and you feel amazing in terms of where you're living. There's really good stuff that you should be proud of. So you got to look at why you're not feeling fulfilled. Sometimes everything that you expected to fulfill you is not what it is. Sometimes you can get the house, sometimes you can get the job, you can have the money, but if the people are missing, and the emotion is missing, and the love is missing, and somebody maybe even to share that with is missing, good people around you to share it with, not even just like love, it's not going to feel right. It's going to feel really wrong and sad and draining. And yeah, let it go, because you've got good stuff coming. You've got better people, bigger love. But you got to face that weird thing that you're hiding looks really nice as well too. Like, it looks like, I think you have a lot of like love in your heart that you want to give out, and you're like, nah, I'll shove it down. Okay. All right. Well, I love you guys. I will see you next month, and yeah, have a good one.